During the G7 summit, which just ended, the leaders of these countries decided to take a vote on what to do about the increased rates of fires in the Amazon. And so they voted in favor of giving the Brazilian government $22 million in aid in order to help them combat these fires. Now, Jair Bolsonaro has responded to it. That's really the heart of this story. But first, let me just tell you that Jair Bolsonaro is part of the reason why these fires, actually the main reason why these fires have increased in the Amazon rainforest. Now, with that said though, Bolsonaro said that if Emmanuel Macron, the individual who announced this $22 million aid package, withdrew, quote, insults made to my person, and what Bolsonaro interpreted as insinuations that Brazil does not have sovereignty over the Amazon, he would maybe reconsider. So at first he's like, no, I don't want your money. And then he's like, but I kind of do, only if you apologize and you say exactly what I want you to do, because I'm very offended. You offended my person.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. So these guys who pretend to be strongmen, these right-wing leaders, they're so delicate and fragile.
So delicate and fragile.
And there's another word for it. It's called weak.
Yes.
And insecure. Look, Trump said that he's not going to Denmark because the leader there offended him and hurt his feelings by saying that his idea was absurd, as he says. He says, she said, called my idea absurd. How can I go? I don't know, be a man, take a tiny bit of criticism and move on with your life. I mean, you're constantly yelling at our allies, constantly demeaning them, insulting them. Our enemies you love, North Korea, Russia, etc. Those guys you don't have enough praise for. But our allies, you spit in their face. The minute they say, hey, that went a little too far, you're like, oh, my feelings are hurt. Well, God damn it, you're the president of the United States. Nobody cares about your goddamn feelings. Go do your job. Now, Bolsonaro, being the same weak, insecure, pathetic person that almost all these right-wing leaders pretending to be strongmen are, comes out and goes, well, I'd like to take $22 million to help my country and to stop the fires that are destroying the Amazon, which is hurting the whole world, but you hurt my feelings. I mean, and remember, on top of all that, they're stupid enough to say it out loud. You idiot, you could have just said, hey, it affects our sovereignty and left it at that and pretended that it had a real legitimate reason, but you're so dumb like your buddy Donald Trump that you go, my feelings were hurt. My daughter, my 6-year-old daughter has an LOL doll that cries and has water coming out of its, I'm gonna name one Bolsonaro, I'm gonna name the other one Trump. And so they're like, yeah, I'm going to hurt the people and the planet because of my precious little feelings. Pathetic.
So they are sensitive, Trump and Bolsonaro, and they do have other similarities. Both of them are insecure because both of them are illegitimate, right, as leaders. So with Trump, I mean, he won the Electoral College, so in our context, he's not illegitimate, but he is very sensitive to the fact that he lost the popular vote. 3 million more people voted for his political opponent, and he's incredibly sensitive about that. Now, when it comes to Bolsonaro, he is definitely illegitimate because he had his political opponent who was polling, in the 80% mark during the election. He had that person imprisoned under completely false nonsense charges, right? And Glenn Greenwald's excellent reporting has really shown how the judge in the case was working with Bolsonaro in order to imprison Lula da Silva, who was leading in the polls. He's still in prison today.
They're both criminals. Bolsonaro and Trump, they should both be in prison.
So the reason why they're so insecure and sensitive is because they know who they are, what they are, and that they don't really have the majority of support in their own countries. Now, with that said though, Bolsonaro also is the main reason why we're seeing these fires in the Amazon. So for instance, the space agency, the Brazilian space agency, had put out images that showed what the rainforest looked like from space. And they found that there was a 278% increase in deforestation. And it's because of Bolsonaro rolling back regulations that would protect the Amazon. Now, what did he do? He fired the head of the agency, just like Trump would do. Yep. You dare cross him, he's gonna fire you. One other thing, Trump has an impact as well because Trump, through this trade war, created a situation in which countries who imported soybeans from America are now looking for other growers, other countries to work with. And so you know what Bolsonaro did? He's like, go ahead and clear out the forest, start growing soybeans. Why don't we become one of the top soybean producers in the world? And so, look, this trade war has ramifications for so many different countries, obviously our own included, but look at what it's doing to the environment, right? So there's that. Bolsonaro also said, quote, to talk or accept anything from France, even with their very best intentions, he will have to withdraw his words, meaning Macron, and then we can talk. First, he withdraws them, then he makes the offer, and then I'll answer.
Look, this is literally stuff that used to happen in 3rd grade. If you don't take that back, I'm gonna take my ball and I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna tell mommy what you did, okay? You gotta take that back, take your words back. This is the conversation we're having among grown adults, let alone world leaders. And in terms of people crossing him in his government, get a load of that irony. You use the government to imprison your political opponents. The people that you fired crossed you by showing facts. It was literally a picture of things that are actually happening. He's like, no, I don't want people to see the facts. So and then they'll always, the right wing, because they like to say racist and bigoted things, will pretend they're in favor of free speech. But the minute, anytime anyone shows them actual facts, they're like, fire them, get rid of them. We can't have that in the government. And then finally, at least I've found a constructive solution here. Since Bolsonaro is a giant snowflake, maybe we put him over the fire and he puts it out. Okay, so right wing, you're not allowed to call any liberals or progressives snowflakes that get triggered and need a safe space, because your leaders are the biggest snowflakes in the world. They get triggered so easy and they're so stupid, they tell everybody that their feelings got hurt, and that's why they're doing things to damage their own country. So go find them a safe space, get them the hell out of our lives, and never ever complain about snowflakes again. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.